Hi everyone. Um, this is Meaningful Conversations, and my name is Senzi. We are a duo, but yeah, we have reverted back to shooting our vlogs individually. I love what Lily was sharing on the previous vlog, which was talking about hope. And how do you hope? You know, when things are the way they have been for the past couple of years. And I just wanted to, it's an addition to what she was saying, that, there's these sayings that we've had or we've heard for the past, growing up, where they'll say, you have to look at the glass as half full or half empty. I'm, in recent years, ever since I've, started doing my walk with God and, and Jesus Christ, I have been, there, and it's actually really the first time in my life that I have been an optimist. Where I would be like, okay, let's look at the glass as half full instead of half empty, because most of my life I've looked at the glass as half empty and anticipate the fact that even whatever that is in it is going to be, you're gonna lose that also, so a pessimistic view of how life was going to turn out. That is how I used to be. But really, in especially in this year, there's been things that have been happening. I think since last year towards the end, especially when when I finally got stuck with the car, then I don't have the car, and I have been used to driving myself everywhere. I've been used to having that for a couple of years, and then to be in a space where now every trip or any trip that I had to make, there's just a whole lot of planning that has to go into it. That is a space that I had not experienced or had not been in for a while. So yeah, it kind of pushed me to wanna now look at the glass as half empty. Do you know what I mean? Because there had been other things that had been taking place apart from the COVID situation, right? But I think whilst going through the process of being challenged as a person, there are certain things that are taking place within your makeup that are are flourishing. You feel like, man, I'm under pressure, right? I'm under pressure, right? But it's like your being and what needs to take place through your existence is flourishing. It's like, yes, it is under pressure that I can actually become alive, right? It's like the example or the analogy, if you like, that they like to make about how diamond becomes diamond because of being exposed through years of pressure, right? And it becomes this beautiful thing that we look at and we're like, wow, we even pay a whole lot of money for it, so and I'm not saying that I'm always there. I'm not saying that my mindset is always there, but I'm grateful to be around a community and be around relationships that allow me somehow, even if it's intense and all of us are under pressure together, to encourage each other to say, actually we are becoming diamonds, right? Or we are, morphing to become butterflies, so that is one of the most beautiful things that are coming up for the human race, within this period that we find ourselves in. I look at what is happening, the state of our economy, and I think to myself, I'm going to choose to want to believe. I'm going to choose to see the beauty still, even though, yes, everything looks like it's falling apart, right? But truthfully, it is through death that we find life. It is through death that there's elevation. So maybe your situation is not a death, it's a rebirth, Maybe the situation in our country is not necessarily a death. Yes, it looks like death from this angle, from the angle in which we're looking at it. But maybe if you can choose to look at it from a different angle, it is life. It is a rebirth. But a rebirth can't take place if what was already in existence still exists. Maybe we're going through that. Actually, as a matter of fact, I am convinced that we are. As the human race, a society, I feel like that is what we are going through. Things look crazy, yeah. Death is crazy and painful, and it's uncomfortable. But if we can hold on just a little bit more, if we can just hold on a little bit more and again, intentionally be around communities where we are adding value and there's value that is being added to us, this pressure is going to be one of the highlights that we can look back at and be like, what, then this world was never the same again, for real, in a good way, or just bring it all the way down and filter it all the way to us as individuals, or myself as an individual, and say, I was never the same person, for the good, so I'm reminded of Ecclesiastes, yet again. It has been my go-to book in terms of, sometimes you just have to just constantly meditate on what is good, even if you are repeating it, because you have to fight for that. You have to fight to be good. You really have to. It has to. And that is why community is important, because sometimes you don't have the fight in you, but a brother or a sister can reach out to you and say, you good, and you can be vulnerable enough and trust those people enough to be able to say, no, I'm not. And I found myself having to say that quite a bit, and I'm still here, and I thank God for that. And one of the things that I really pray that we will continue, and we'll never leave the COVID, or the lockdown and social distancing, and just this period, is really tuning into each other and having concern for each other, and really being aware of our need for one another as the human race. Take away the classification and the whatever categories or categorization. We are made from the same substance, period. You know what I mean? When one of us hurt, the whole human race hurts. So I'm praying. I find myself being in a space where I really pray from a space not huge in social media, but from a place of just praying for us as the human race, and praying that as a generation. There will be beautiful, inventions, and a new way of doing life that we will introduce, that will make it easier and more wonderful for the generations that will come after us. That we will be a generation where a lot of things just had to die. And after all that death, a rebirth allowed for us to live as how we were created to live, interdependent of each other. It sounds all fairy tale-y, maybe. and but without vision, we will perish. So let's all have a vision. I'm gonna hold on to my vision. It doesn't matter whether so many other things that I see happening around me might be negating that vision, but I'm gonna hold on to it. And I pray that all of us will have a vision, for ourselves as individuals, for the communities that we're in, for society as a whole. Let us have visions, man. Let's go crazy. Let's dream. Let's dream about the world that we want to see. Let's dream about what we desire. Because, things are already dying anyways. After this, we just... visions are necessary. You know what I mean? So let's dream, guys. Let's dream. It's time for us to dream. And have visions of how we want life to be from now on, going forward. Yeah, this is my little piece for this week. Yeah, thank you guys for giving me your time. Senzi, bye bye.